Okay, it's been a really long time. Life happened and I was just focused on other things, but I am back and you will be getting Wildly Inspired on the first Wednesday of every month. So this month, that is on August 6th. So I'm recording this for you on the Monday, and I'm still working in the same book, even though I find it a little bit small. It's probably good to be challenged into using something you're not accustomed to using. So I have no idea what to do except tape. I want tape. So I'm going to pull out some tape and start gluing it down with some matte medium. Here we go. So I'm not even sure what the theme is. Like, this spread is just so unplanned. I just decided to sit down and make it happen. And I'm just gonna go for it. So tape. Sandwich that between two layers. You can see that I just pulled the red out of the rooster, the stamp, and the seal in the other tape. So I just kind of let the first tape lead me in terms of what to choose next. So things on this side are super crunchy. There's a lot of texture in the pages that came before. So the book doesn't lie very flat, which influences my choices, and I wish that I had thought of that before I started adding a whole bunch of stuff to this book. But the point was kind of to de-stash and, you know, use stuff that I've accumulated. So I've just been learning to live with having all of this. Look how thick it is. It's crazy. So I'm going to whitewash this. The matte medium is still wet, that's fine. I'm just going to pour a little bit of gesso and water onto my spread and then just whitewash the whole thing. So that pushes the tape back a little bit. It also creates a new ground. So I've got this little doily and some spray ink. Oh, this bottle's just about empty. And then I'm actually going to glue it down, I think right in the center over here. More whitewash. And then I didn't like the impression that I got, so I'm just sort of smearing that out and spreading that medium around into the whitewash and the matte medium. It's actually going to create a nice water resistant surface. The sprays are not waterproof at all, these sprays. I'm just going to go ahead and pour some of this out. I could probably create just a much paler version of this color by adding some water into the bottle, because it's not going to spray anymore, but there's still quite a bit of ink left in there. This is super fun. So I've got words coming into my head now. This is why I love working this way. So you start with really no idea what you're doing or where you're going, and then words will come to you. Look at that mess. Love it. That's just awesome. And the words that are coming to me are: perfectionism is the enemy of creativity. Those are the words that are coming to me. So just blotting that up a little bit. I think I'm going to grab some of this gesso, this whitewash. And I think I want a little bit of white paint in here as well, just for something a little more opaque. I don't want to cover the whole background. I don't want to lose it all. I'm just going to press that down a little bit because it was lifting. Oh, look at that. Look, it's lifting right off. It's dissolving. So that means stop messing with it. So I'm going to stop messing with it. Let that dry. Yeah, that's scrumptious. It's making me very happy. Love. So I'm going to hit this with the heat gun and I will be right back. Okay, so I want to create kind of a horizon line. And I'm going to use scrapbook paper for that. You could use a craft mat and a craft mat and a craft knife for this to get straight cuts. I'm not that worried about it because I'm going to be putting tape on it as well. So I'm going to want to trim that quite a bit. Just made a fold there so I know where I'm cutting it. I'm going to let it hang over because I can trim it later. going to make a fold in there just so that it sticks properly into my spread. And just straighten this a little bit along this edge. Using quite a generous amount of gel. Not worrying at all if this ends up smearing pigment into the spread. I'm okay with that. And then I'm just going to use a bone folder to kind of make sure that that actually adheres. And a baby wipe to wipe that stuff off. I'm going to go over top as well because we want to protect this. We want to seal it. And then I'm going to use my brayer just to push that down. Create a little bit of texture in that gel. Kind of expanding on the horizon by repeating the tape that we have pushed back in the background. That is all wet enough that it's gonna stay put. And then I'm just gonna put a little bit more gel on there. And spread that around using my brayer. Now I want to glaze this whole thing. I'm going to use Phthalo Turquoise. On a super wet brush. And then blot it. So what we've done is we've brought the whole thing together with this glaze. Wiping off a bit in the bottom. Kind of smoothing it out over top of the tape. I really like that. Alright, let's dry this. And I will BRB. Okay, I want to lighten up this top part a little bit. I'm going to use white paint for that. What I want is the effect of the white paint picking up all of the different textures from the tape that we have on here, which this is doing, which is just gorgeous. And then I think I want to do the same thing along this lower line. Kind of leaving these two strips of tape as they are. I'm just going to throw a little bit of water on here and blot. Lovely texture. So I'm actually going to stamp this bird using the Phthalo turquoise. So I'm going to brayer the paint onto the bird. It's got a little bit of the white in it, which is going to actually make a really pretty impression. Just note that when you do this, you're going to want to get this into water right away. Thankfully, these stamps are a little bit flexible because this page is so full of, there we go, stuff that, or the book itself is so full of stuff that I really have to press. And then I've got this little one here. So it's going to be a little bit like the big bird is talking to the little bird. Or maybe a couple of little birds. So almost like classes in session. And I'm going to pop these into my little bucket of water here. I'm going to do a couple of outlines, one in black and one in white, just for contrast. So I'm going to start here with a glaze pen. Keeping it pretty loose and sketchy. Remembering that the sentiment or the theme of the page is that perfection is the enemy of creativity. So we're not trying to do this perfectly. Oh, that's cute. Look what I found in my junk drawer. That's super cute. That's going on there. And then I'm also going to put a sort of a band of sheet music. Just cutting this out. Kind of like this. So do I want this here then? Or here? Yeah, I'll put that there. Glue stick. Gel, just to make sure that that stays put. This is lifting, so I'm just going to go ahead and slap some gel down so it'll hold. I love that this little cloud here looks a little bit like a hat or a crown for my bird. It's really working for me. Alphabet stamps here. So I'm hoping to fit this all in. And then I want creativity nice and long, swirly. just going to go ahead and put a glow around these letters and fill in the open spaces with the white pen. I just really enjoy, if I stamp, I want to do something with it that's my own, you know. If I stencil, same thing. I like to take these prefab sort of items and really personalize them. It's very important to me. It's these little details that personalize your piece that I feel really make them. Just going to put kind of like a stitch line in here. Line, dot, line, dot. Just a little extra detail. Maybe a little scallop here. And then I like these little scribbles that look a little bit like handwriting. I really picked these up from Dina Wakley in a Faces class that she taught here in Ontario. She just scribbles. It's just complete nonsense. It means nothing. There's actually no letters in it, but it just adds something kind of special. Gosh, guys, I think we may have it. I think that's it. No, not quite. I need a little pop of color in here. It's very monochromatic. We really lost the red, but I don't really want to use red. I want to use pink. So I'm going to pop in some Punchinella using a stencil brush. Just because it's a little bit boring right now, as monochromatic as it is, it just needs a little bit of oomph. And you may wonder, what does it make sense to have pink in the sky? Well, it doesn't have to make sense. That's the wonderful thing about art journaling. Or maybe it's sunset and we have that lovely pink cloud thing happening. Who knows? But just that little touch of color, yeah, so awesome. Makes such a big difference. Makes me really happy. Bottom frame on. Et voila. That's more like it. Yeah, that just made me really happy. Awesome. All right, that's it for August for Wildly Inspired. I'm gonna pop the date in here. August 2014. Wildly Inspired. Awesome. Speaking of Dina Wakley, she is going to be teaching in my new collaborative course, which is called Radiant. The details are below this video in your classroom. If you're watching this on YouTube, please head on over to my website, effiewild.com, for details on any of the classes that I have upcoming. But I'm really, really excited to have Dina teach because she really changed the way that I look at an art journal spread during one of the classes that I took with her. She really gave me permission to be imperfect and quick and sketchy and messy, and it's really improved how I feel about my art journaling. So it's going to be so exciting to have her. That's it for this month. Please note that our monthly journal challenges here in the Ning have now moved to Wildly Inspired. So if you want to be entered in the drawing for this month, then you will want to do a spread for Wildly Inspired. So inspired by this one, use an element I used or the same words, or just let this inspire you in some way. Post your image in the comments below in the Wildly Inspired group, and you will be automatically entered into a drawing for something. I haven't decided yet. Sometimes it's a print, sometimes it's an envelope full of ephemera. As soon as I know exactly what I'm going to be doing for this drawing, I will write that down in the classroom at Wildly Inspired. Big love, you guys, and I'll see you in September. Bye!